I felt like this was a time to record, man. I can remember coming out of these buildings defeated, bro. Like tears in my eyes, not knowing where I was gonna go, not knowing what I was gonna do. I remember coming out of these buildings defeated, bro, but at the same time, I knew I could still get it together, man. I had hope.
I am the kick dog queen, used to be amongst the fiends, yeah. Low life dreams, yeah. Bounce back queen, yeah. Trap queen, no, I get money on the low, bro. Background money, call it incognito. I am the kick dog queen.
I had hope. You know what I'm saying? Now I get to go in and advocate for people who are struggling with the same things that I'm struggling with. So at any time I'm able to go advocate for somebody to keep their freedom, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm here, y'all. And I'm back from doing my peer supporting for my young member. The case was reset, so much for that. Is this the bottom of my pencil? It sure is. Refresh these lips. Yeah, and then guess who I seen while I was in there, y'all? I saw my lawyer, baby, Miss I don't know if I should say Angela Fee. Yes, she's an amazing attorney. I tell you, Miss Angela Fee was on their necks. Listen, the lady say, hey, now, I see you doing everything you can possibly do in order to make sure you get them kids back. I ain't gonna let them railroad you, but if you fuck up, you're on your own. That's exactly what she told me. I remember like yesterday. The different situations that tend to come up throughout my day as a peer support specialist, the issues that are in the community, the issues that are amongst those whom are like me, you know, dual diagnosed, and to educate, empower, you know, to empathize with people. You know, it's really a process, especially being a peer support specialist. It's a process of learning how to use your language tools in order to move and encourage growth and change in a person's life. Ooh. So peer support specialist is basically about empathy, educating, empowering, and encouraging. So empathy, education, empowering, and encouraging. That's really what being a peer support specialist is all about. And in these next videos that y'all are about to see that transpired throughout this month, y'all are getting ready to just see some of the things that cross my mind while we're in this field. Not we, but me. As I'm in this field, the things that cross my mind that people in the community have to go through and get past, you know. The shit is important to me because I understand what that concrete is. I understand how hard it is for delicate roads to come on about that concrete. I know. So why not go help people and support people who are still struggling to come up out of the concrete? With that being said, there are a lot of times I do a lot of like rear view mirroring. That's when I call it rear view mirroring, because I'm looking in the rear view, like I'm looking back at shit, and I'm just like thinking about my mindset and how shit was for me just 20 years ago. And just to put things in perspective about 20 years ago, I want y'all to know, like 20 years ago, well, around the time I really got into drugs, I'm not going to say it was 20 years ago, maybe about 15, 16, 17 years, right? It haven't been quite 20 yet. But around that time, let's say that's when Lil Wayne really started to go hard. That was like Lil Wayne's era. Just to put it in perspective, that was Lil Wayne's era. That was the a milli, the Nicki Minaj era, Drake just coming out era. I really wasn't thinking correctly. I just wasn't thinking correctly. Mind you, I also have self-diagnosed myself as autistic because I have to be for some of the ways that I process some information and the way that I communicate and just the things that I do in general. Man, I gotta be autistic. I don't know what else to call it. But I said all that to bring y'all back to this mindset. And how when you look back, you don't realize just how much you've changed until you realize you've changed. And I know right around that time when I was doing drugs and living my little young life, I really wasn't looking at me giving my pussy to niggas for money, dope, or anything else I wanted as prostitution. And that's crazy. Y'all might think that's crazy, but I really did not think it was prostitution. My mind frame was that of the person who said, yeah, we can smash. Well, I don't mind us fucking. We can do that, you know. But what you got? Bitch, you got some money? What you got? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really wasn't looking at it like prostitution or like I was a trick or some shit. I was looking at it like bad exchange ain't no robbery. I ain't fit to be up here giving y'all my pussy and I can't get nothing in return. I'm not fit to be broke. I know I'm going to be high. I know I'm going to get what I want. And at that time, what I wanted wasn't much of nothing. But still in my head, I didn't think that it was prostitution because I was getting what I wanted. And then I didn't have a pimp. I wasn't being pimped out. Wasn't no nigga pimping me, and I had to ran across a bunch of pimps. Matter of fact, one of my good partners is a pimp. He's a big pimp in Houston. He's a major pimp in Houston. And I remember asking that nigga, I saying, man, why when we did connect back when we was grown, I was like, bro, you was pimping when I was younger. Was you pimping? He was like, yeah, I was pimping. I was like, why you didn't tell me? He was like, because I wasn't going to pimp you. And I was just like, well, why you never wanted to pimp me? It was just like you had a beautiful mind, man. You had a beautiful mind of your own. You see these hoes? These hoes got my mind. I made these hoes. These hoes are me and bitch bodies. I was like, what? Bro, oh my God. And to a certain extent, he right. Any pimp I ever ran across was always like, can't put you in a stable. We can't put you in nobody's stable, baby, because baby, you gonna run them away. You gonna take them with you. And that's probably what I was gonna do as I am now, a state certified piss support specialist, and what I do is go in and try to take them out. Yeah, but that's just, my thought for the day. I just wanted to come and drop that on y'all, how you really don't be thinking clearly when you're young. And I want to bring about the fact that there is a lot of aces that black women go through when they're growing up, and that turns into trauma. And our brains don't fully develop until 25. That's for all of us. Our brains don't fully develop until 25. But if before you make it to 25, you've experienced multiple experiences of trauma, then already the physiological makeup of your brain has changed. And so you already off. You already thrown off. I think one of my greatest hopes for us as a people is that we stop pointing and laughing at people's downfalls, people's mental health issues, laughing at all of the symptoms that come with being addicted or having trauma or just the life that comes with coming out of the concrete. People don't want to admit that the hood is no good for nobody because of the mindsets that's there. Okay, but rolling it right back to where I was though. Yeah, I didn't know. I really wasn't processing life the way I should have been processing it. I had been programmed against myself, and there has been a lot of deprogramming that has had to take place for me personally, but yeah, that's just my thoughts for today, man. I was sitting there thinking about how I didn't even know I was prostituting, man. And there have been multiple occasions where I wouldn't have called what I was doing prostituting. I wouldn't have called it that. I didn't know. Oh, Lord. I really didn't know. I didn't know, man. And I guess I'm making this video so other girls understand what it is. And then when you're prostituting yourself, it's not that you're really prostituting yourself. You're really fucking over your energy. That's really what you're doing. And you're fucking over your energy for somebody else's thrills in their life. Like, real shit. Stop giving your energy away so that somebody else can get thrills off of it. That's really what I want to say about that. Also, I thought everybody did that. Like, god damn, that's crazy. When you grow up around certain shit and you think that shit is normal, to the point where when other people tell you it's not normal, you looking at them crazy, like, you stuck up, or you think you better than, or well, really they just be trying to tell you right on some spiritual shit, because this is a spiritual journey. Doing my job. I'm on my way to a face-to-face now with one of my members. I've already decided that I'm going to structure this channel around resources and information. Also my personal experience, because that's what I am. I'm a peer support specialist, and what that means is I utilize my personal experience in order to help navigate or help facilitate growth and change in a person's life, in a person's life when it's related to dual diagnosis like mental health and drug addiction. So, and those are the battles that I've had. And so, just for specialists, but I really didn't know that this job was gonna change my life the way that it has. Man, this job done changed my goddamn life. You know, got me looking at the world different. Like, got me looking at everything different. Just the landscape of what everybody is going through. The landscape of what I was just going through, it got me looking at everything different, man. But I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and I'm definitely gonna be getting some content out to y'all. Definitely gonna be talking about trauma bond children, because that's one of the specific things that I'm dealing with right now. The idea, and this is a term that I'm coining. Latoya, this is me. I rose from the concrete, coining trauma bond children. Trauma bond children. These are children that you have while you're in a trauma bond relationship. Because the frequency that you create children on is important. The frequency that you create children in is important to their disposition as they grow up. You may not want to believe that truth, but it is. It is the truth. And as I grasp that truth, I'm looking at my parenting as it relates to my mental health and the dynamics of the relationships that I had my children in. And I'm really learning, man, that I gotta go hard. I gotta go super hard for my children, like harder than what most parents would probably go. I have to go harder because I understand the disposition that my children are akin to because of the situations that I created them in. That's on me, man. That's not their fault. That's my fault. That's some shit that I gotta rectify. You know what I'm saying? Through my behavior and my decisions and my plan for life. You know, this is all on me at this end of the day. I know it's not my fault, not all of it, but these decisions that I made that created them children, that's my fault. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go and accept all the responsibility for that. And I have, and it's difficult. It's not easy, because once I go to explaining to y'all exactly what situations I created my children in, you'll understand what I mean by when I say it's not easy. It's not easy at all. You understand?